Hi everyone, it's Ala from Card Times Ahead. Welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, I'm a part of Natty and Moon's design team. And this time it's basically a design team project. So someone in her Facebook group asked how to put together this little folio. This was a freebie on her Facebook group, Natty and Moon's Facebook group. I will link it down below so that you can join if you haven't yet. But so yes, you can get this from there completely free. No strings attached. But yes, it includes 5 sheets of ephemera, pockets, the cover, all of that, and also 1 sheet of this yellow textured pattern that you can print on the opposite side. And I have printed these all double-sided, so they're all yellow on the other side. Without further ado, I think I will cut these apart and we will get started. Okay, so I've got it cut right here. This is the biggest piece, which is the cover, and that's what I'm going to start with. You should end up with 4 folds in here, so if you can see, there's faded line in 2 spots. You should make a fold on both sides of both those white-ish lines. So that's what I'm going to do next. Looks like the first one is at 2 1/8. This is really conveniently quite non-directional, you know, the pattern. So that gives you a little bit flexibility. I made the second fold, or I scored it at 2 5/8, I think. But you will see. And I printed this on not thin paper, but it's not cardstock weight. It's like 160 GSM. So in this case, you don't have to score it if you don't want to. You can just as well just fold it. Maybe use a bone folder to crease it. But I don't know, using a scoreboard just makes me feel a little bit better. Must be mainly because I can't always see where I'm folding. So at least this way I can make sure it is straight. So yes, this is the last fold. And because this is a non-directional paper, your folio can be let's see, you can use it this way if you like. You can use it this way, or you can turn it around and use it this way. I could have also used the yellow as my outside of the cover if I would have liked, but in this case I went with the neutral in the inside. This shorter piece, it's going to be the flap, and I think I want it this way. It's just how I prefer it. But let's open this and start decorating. Let's put this aside for a minute. First thing I took after the cover is this little flap. I'm going to score this as well Here we go, trying to be gentle so that I won't rip my paper, but I will fold the hinge down like this. Once again, you have some options. Let me see. You could fit this in the middle, but you would have to cut just a little bit off from the side. But because I don't want to make this too complicated, I want to use it as is, I'm going to put this flap in here. So it is basically an extension to the folio cover. I could put it this way to add some interest, but I don't know, it would leave me that pink thing there, unless I wanted to put it like this. That's also possible. But yeah, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just put it like this so that it looks more finished or something. I don't know. Let's see. I will just, you could use your, I think glue stick would work, probably, and tape dispenser, whatever it is called, ATG gun or whatever, but I'm just going to use wet glue. And I put it on the pink part of the paper, nowhere else. So that is the hinge. And then I'm trying to get it straight. It is a little bit angled from both top and bottom, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to see. But before I press it down completely, I'm going to turn this so that I can actually see that it lines up. And I think it does quite nicely. So there we go. Now we have the full cover in here. And we can get to adding the pockets and everything. But like I said, if you want to change things up a little bit, you could also take this hinge and put it in the second panel, the panel after the flap, but you would have to cut it a little bit. What I usually like to do is cut things apart, page by page, because that helps me to avoid the situation where I have like a huge pile of different things cut apart and I don't know what goes with what. So the next page I'm going to take is this one. It has a couple of more flaps that I can hinge. So I will cut this and be right back. I am done, and I will do the same thing with these that I did with the flap on the cover, which is, I'm going to score and fold all three of them. The same sheet had a little pocket, so I have that too here. Here as well. There we go. Obviously, these are directional, which means if you put them anywhere else but going this way, it's going to be sideways. So if your folio is like this, you would have to adjust a lot more. You would have to cut things apart much more because these are too long for the panels. Actually, I think what I will do right now is ink these up so that you can see a little bit better. Just one moment. Okay, I think this is a little bit better. So at this point we have 5 score lines or fold lines here. If you would like, you could cut everything apart, don't get me wrong. And you could place them on each panel to see where you want everything to go. But I like to live dangerously, so I'm just going to go with the flow. and put them somewhere and find places for the rest of them later on. I think I'm just going to, actually I think I might even put this one here to give it one additional flap, because this is non-directional, but that is the flap part. I don't know. Decisions. Maybe I will put it like this instead. I don't know. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I think maybe I could, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a small, like, hidden spot behind these two flaps. I can talk today, obviously. But let's take, once again, I'm just putting glue on the pink part, which is the hinge. And I'm going to go right on the edge. Here we go. There we go. That should leave me some nice room to work with. And then I'm going to take the bigger one and put it on the top like this. And once again, I'm trying to center it on this panel, and I'm going to put it straight on the edge. Yes, these meet quite nicely. I did glue it down a little bit crooked. As you can see, they don't meet perfectly. If that happens to you, just press them where you want them to be and take a bone folder or your nail and just press it down. That should help with the situation a little bit. So now I've got two flaps going up and down. I think that looks nice. And then I'm going to take the middle size flap. Maybe I should have thought about where I wanted to put this before I added glue on the hinge, but oh well. I think I will put it onto the same. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I might have some issues later with placing the other things, but that's fine. I will figure something out. Okay, so now we have the third flap down. I wonder if I should just put this here. Yes. Once again, I want to have this hidden spot for it. So, yes. So this is a pocket. I think I want to, sorry for shaking the camera. I am taking some of my vintage photo. That is a distress oxide ink that I have. You could obviously use any brown ink that you have, or not use ink at all if you prefer that. And then I'm going to spread some glue on the edges. Just a nice thin line, doesn't need to be much. There we go. And then I want to make sure that the thumb notch that this has, it gets covered. So let's see. I think that should be, yes. Once again, I'm centering it, putting it far enough so that the flap hides the thumb notch. There we go. And then I'm up for some more cutting and we'll be right back. Oh, and by the way, this is the piece I'm going to take next. So what we have right now are 3 pockets. Sorry, actually we have five pockets. I was almost able to count them the first time. But yeah, just a tip. If you hate, loathe, despise cutting these little thumb notches on the pockets, just use a bunch. It seems to me that 1 inch bunch works really nicely. It goes a little bit further down than the actual notch is, but that doesn't bother me. Okay, so you can stack the pockets. That is one option. Let's see how that would look like. You can either start from the bottom, and that is what it would look like. And if your hands are a little bit shaky like mine and it isn't perfectly even, you can glue these together and then just take a paper trimmer or your scissors and if the edge is a little bit ragged, just even it out. Or just use some ink. That covers everything, right? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm not sure if I want to, let's see. Yes, this, actually, I'm changing my mind after all. I'm going to start with this. I could put it on this side, or I could put it on this side. Does it fit? That is a good question. It does, so and so. Is this the same size? Yes, it is. So to make it easier to fold, this would fit, but in time it's possible that I would, the fold would widen out a little bit and go on the edge of the paper, which would wrinkle it up a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure that doesn't happen that easily, and I cut it down a little bit. It goes over the side just a little bit, but then again, if I want to avoid that, I did say I didn't want to change this up too much, but as I already cut it down, let's say I cut it crude or something, I don't know. I'm just going to cut a little bit more off. I think that should fit, so that it's completely hidden. That's what I'm looking for. Would that work? I think so. Just a little bit more. Just cut a little. If it doesn't fit yet, cut a little bit more. That's what I do. Okay, that's perfect. Although this has mice and not cats, but still. If you fall in love with this mice and flowers and everything, just like I did, Natty also has a full kit on her Etsy shop. So definitely go check that out. The shop is called Natty and Moon, and I will link it down. I'm trying to make sure that this is straight so that it truly gets hidden. I didn't want to cut it down too much, and I didn't say it out loud, but I only put glue on this edge and this edge so that this stays open and I am able to put something behind it. Okay, so basically now we have 2 spots done. You could also print this flap page one more time and cut the hinges off. Maybe definitely make these a little bit smaller, cut from every side, and then you would have some journaling cards to put inside the pockets. And obviously, because I printed everything double-sided, I ended up with tons of these scraps. If I take some other scraps, I can make masterboards like this, and they would also be really cool if I would cut them down so that they fit into pockets. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to ink the top of these. There we go. I like the inked details. I know not everyone does, so do it just like it was. And I am starting with the biggest one and taking the second to the biggest, second biggest. I don't know. I'm taking the next size. Let's just put it that way. And I'm gluing it straight on top of the biggest one. Really simple, especially now that my hands aren't too shaky. And then I'm taking the second to the smallest, second smallest, and just doing the same. So I'm putting the glue on 3 edges, on the bottom and both sides. I'm not putting any glue on this thumb notch side. And then I'm going to glue this on here. Looks good so far. I haven't gone too much off the rails with my gluing, I think. I'm trying to put the glue quite close to the edge, but I want to have some space inside the pockets too, because if you go too deep into the paper when you glue, that means that your pockets will be a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is what we have, and now I also had to pay attention to the fact that I do not want to put any glue on the top. Otherwise, I will glue the back or the biggest pocket down completely, or I will glue it closed. What I will do is take some more ink, yes, the vintage photo, and ink up all the white white edges I managed to leave whenever I was cutting this. There we go. And as I mentioned, the shaky hands, they are back. Not too bad, I guess. But yes. So, let's glue this down here. Once again, trying to get it centered. I think I will put it as close to the button as I can. Basically, start from the bottom, because I want to make sure I leave as much space for myself as I can. If I would have glued it starting from here, for example, I could fit only like a tack this long or something, but now I have almost a full page. So something really long like a bookmark could go in there. And if you're wondering, what can you do with a folio like this? Well, many things. You can sew this into your journal signatures. So it basically becomes a double page. And you can do many other things as well. But I will get back to cutting and I will be right back. Okay, so we are down to 3 final pieces. And as you can see, this is starting to be quite full. But no worries. I could always cut this down a little bit, probably about an inch, not even that much, a little bit less than an inch, and glue it here. But when I close the folio, as you can see, I have some more room here, so I will, oh my goodness, I'm going to put the long pocket on this flap here. And I think I'm going to put it on this side. And here, as you can see, I have, when I was gluing the flap down, I didn't do a perfect job. So I'm going to fold the flap a little bit better so that it hides all of my errors. And if that doesn't help, I don't think I'm going to cut anything off because there really isn't much, but I put some ink so it's less visible. And what that doesn't hide, the pocket definitely will. But yes, I need some more ink for the pocket, just on the thumb notch side. There we go. I think this side would be really nice too, but for some reason I am wanting to put it this way. But then again, and yes, like I said, you have so many options with how you want to put this together. There's more than one way, especially if you're willing to go your own way and do some adjustments. Let me turn this a little bit so that I can actually see where I'm gluing this. That's always a good starting point, I think. So I don't want to go off the edges, at least not too much. There we go. It's on its place. And then let's see what I want to do with this one. I think what I will do, yes, that is, I'm so smart. This was totally intentional. No, I just came up with this. And I think it's quite nice. Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you like what you see, please like the video, give it a thumbs up. Perhaps even get really bold and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you doing that. And definitely head over to Natty's Facebook group, Natty and Moon Creative, to get yourself this wonderful, wonderful folio. And now I can see anything. I miss my scoreboard. Help. Okay. So the longest flap, I think, was supposed to be the, well, flap. But what I will do, I think, let's see. I will glue this down in here. If that works, I will check. Not as well as I would have liked, but I will make it work. This is actually going to be also like a closer or something, and I need to fold this a little bit more because it doesn't. Yes, definitely. Let's open that, and I might have to cut into the corners a little bit more. Yes, that one too. No, I think it's perfect. I did, when I was cutting this down, I did leave some room for error, which means that I cut into the pattern a little bit more than I needed to, rounded the edges a little bit more. So yes, I'm going to use this to decorate the cover. But do I want to? Yes, I will leave it as an envelope. But what I will do is I'm going to cut the flap. Maybe. Or am I? Am I? No, I'm not. Okay. Yeah. Before I change my mind one more time, I'm going to... Sorry for knocking the camera again. I decided to ink this up and just go with this. So what I will do is I think I will flatten the folio down just a little bit, perhaps, if it's willing to do that. Yep, there we go. So that it's easier for me to glue this down. And I will hold it like that, and then I'm going to put some glue on here. It's the flap. There we go. And then I'm not going to glue this shut. Trust me on that. I'm not bothered about that because it's not going to get glued down. But it's just easier for me not to worry about the flap. It'll be fine. Okay, now that this is on its place, I will take the flap from under the flap. There we go. Okay, this one needs a little bit more ink, I think. There we go, and then I will glue the envelope or the pocket part of the envelope down by putting some glue on the smaller flaps and perhaps even, yes, on the bigger flap, second biggest flap. There we go. And we are done with that. So this is just one way to put it. I could have just, I think this envelope would have fit into this biggest pocket. That would have been one option. But I wanted to kind of use it as a closer on my cover. And then there's this. I could glue this down here, but I don't think I will. I will instead put this into the envelope, and it fits. It does fit, but because I struggle with things a lot when they are exactly the same size as they're supposed to be, for my own mental health, I'm going to cut it down a little bit like I did. I think this would also be a perfect birthday card for a kid. Obviously, it's not a card, but I think a kid would love it. And you could use this to send out some happy mail. That would also be nice. So there's really so many things you can do this, or you can do with this. So anyway, let's see what I made today. I know it's quite a long video, but I wanted to make it like user friendly or a beginner friendly. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we have the envelope here and the pocket. I did not glue this down completely, as you can see, and that is because right now it is Hold on, I'm trying to find a scrap. Now it's a tuck spot. I can put something in there. So I could glue it down as well and maybe put an image here to cover it up or something. I don't know. But that's what I did. Then when we open this, we have 4 pockets on this side. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. And then we have the big pocket. This would be perfect for a letter or something, I think, if you do the Happy Mail or pen pal things. Then we have these flappy things here. I could add a button closer. I will do that in another video if somebody is interested, because this is already so long. And here we have some more pockets. So it's 4, 6, 7, 8. A tuck spot. I think I will count this as 9. 8 or 9 pockets. A lot of things to put your ephemera or whatever tags, journaling cards in. This is quite spacious, so you could maybe bind in a signature if you would like to make this like a mini traveler's notebook or something. And if I would add a signature, I would probably bind it onto this what's it called, spine. This spine, simply because I think there's most room on that spot. It would start here. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope you got some more ideas. Definitely head over to Natty's Etsy shop and Facebook group, especially if you want to get this freebie. She shares freebies on her channel quite frequently, or not channel, but Facebook group. So Natty and Moon Creative is definitely a place to be. Other than that, I will see you next time. Bye for now.